Yeah, gotta aim for the top like, hold up. Yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles. So I'm in my element, it's evident that there's levels to the game.
What's up, fam? Back here at OneGym with Mike. We are training today. We've got a push day on. Just get our intro workout ready. Today we've got Jordy with us again as usual. Shout out to Jordy, my barber right there. Jordan, Tobaccoman, the Barber Club, Port Melbourne. If you're not down there, get down there. Say hi, Jordan. Barber to the stars, this guy, all right? No, honestly though, they've got about 5 shops spread out across Melbourne now. Docklands, Port Melbourne, Elstonwick, I think as well. So hit up the Barber Club because best cuts in town for sure. If you're interested in your workout, we've got 50 grams of cluster bomb, carbohydrates. That's a highly branched dextrin. That's what I like it for. Just to find that it digests a little bit easier than something like Vitargo or straight dextrose. Best EAs I've ever used by Rapid Recovery, mango iced tea. Again, taste profile is amazing. A lot of people will argue, do EAAs do much for you during your workout? I personally like having them, so that's what I use them for. And then we've got creatine, 10 grams, as my intra workout as well. So that's the stack there. Today's the second push session of the week, and it's a new program. So we'll work our way through. Generally speaking, with a new program, we're not doing actively a deload, but it almost becomes like a deload because we're finding our way through the different movements in different orders or sequences, different rep ranges. So everything's quite new. So normally it takes us, at least probably 2 weeks to find our top gear in terms of what weight we can lift for that rep range in that order of exercises as well. So today we'll still push it hard. Intensity will be high, volume a little bit less, and then we'll look to escalate the volume through the next few weeks. But we'll be finding our way through the new movements, trying to work out what weights we need to lift to really push those rep ranges, as always. So that's it for me from now. We're gonna get into it as well, and see you on the other side.
The riches got a mad at son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me. But known for my city like OAGZ. Set the pace as long as you finish. Consumers find a way inside your business. Babble if they try to dabble in it, and they hate the fact that they may have to witness. You trying to aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a fire like this.
All right guys, so first movement today, we're gonna start with some calves. So it's not really a tracked movement at all. We're just hitting calves probably 4 times a week at the moment. So before every upper day, not on leg days. Again, the idea here is just to hit them first, hit them hard, high rep, low rep, rep goals, straight sets, drop sets, everything just to try and force some more volume into the calf. Coming to the prep, our calves suck, my calves suck, Jordy's are okay, but we need to definitely make sure that they're not a weak point on stage. And unfortunately, the bigger legs you have or the bigger quads you have, the bigger your calves need to be in order to not look out of place. So we're gonna do a rep goal target today. So basically we're gonna set a target of 100 reps. We're gonna use a weight that we can probably achieve 15 to 20 reps with decent form on the first set, rest 10 to 15 seconds, go again as many times as needed until we get a total of 100 reps on each movement. So Jordy will do the standing calf raise first, I'll do the seated, then we'll stop after we both get to 100. Hopefully we'll get a good pump.
Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas, 155 on the road. You could be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, cause I know I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, flow is like water. I'm forced through the fire, I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay grounded. earth, following God and you grinding, you do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center, word to Spike Lee. And God came in a nick of time. They think I'm crazy, but I might be.
Guys, this is Lucky. I'm sure you all know him. Lucky's one of the GOATs of Australian bodybuilding. Probably make sure you follow his page, Lucky had to Pantelis. Lad, that's Lucky all day. One of the good things about OneGym is we've really attracted here a good bunch of individuals, you know, competitors, non-competitors, personal trainers, but we really find it's a really good mix of people in here. And everyone always feels warm, invited, welcome, supported, and motivated. The joke is that, not the joke, the fact is that I make the best coffee here. And so we joke that when people come in and they don't see me behind the machine, they'll order a cold drip or, or something like that. I just got a bunch of pin-loaded equipment in, old hammer strength MTS stuff. And sometimes it's nice when you're warming up not to have to load, unload plates, just change your pin and sort of, you know, get some blood into the chest and make everything feel good. Yeah. All right guys, this is probably our first working set. Keep in mind, first week on the program, so our rep range is 8 to 12 with a nice controlled eccentric, an explosive concentric. This is a super incline machine, so it's sort of in between an incline machine and a shoulder press. Hits that really high clavicular shelf. So we're going to focus here. It does converge a lot as well. So we're going to focus here on really driving our elbows in or biceps together, really adducting our biceps across our body, because that's a primary function of the chest, is to adduct our humerus or biceps towards the center line of our body.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call it quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out,
Yes.
knocked out.
Again.
You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve.
Perfect.
Stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no giving. Some days I don't hit, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't want it when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. Been in it. I don't want the bag. I guess that's what happens. You taking care of your business, plus a friend. If I'm out of my pocket, Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect, let them watch me elevating. Got them nauseous, cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. No stepping in the house. Watch how I get it here. Watch how I get it here. Watch how I get it here.
Come on with me now, okay?
Set it up, bet you I
Come
set
on,
it down.
try.
Watch out, get away.
Effort.
Did it really when I come, I guess the one I got a finger run up in on the
Effort, come on.
I ain't never been there when you
Control.
did compared to my line, but the one about the cage. I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call it quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than.
All right, so guys, next we're going to do a cuffed incline and cable fly. We like to use the cuffs for our cable flies. It really takes our grip out of it, takes the form out of it. I don't have the cuffs all the way up to the elbow. I have them sort of just above the elbows, so they're sort of rested or on my forearms. I just try and really drive with a relaxed hand up through the movement, focusing on my biceps coming together as much as possible. We're doing this one on the incline. It can be hard to set up if you don't have a training partner. If you have a training partner, then obviously you can help each other. Plan is 3 sets here, 10 to 15 reps. Do 1 feeder, bro. Just
better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
Go. All the way. Effort.
It's funny, the leaner I've gotten over the past couple of weeks, the bigger my hats have gotten. Losing circumference of the head. With a flat press, we want to slightly converging, so the hammer strength bench press is probably a pick of choice. This is our first week on the program, so with the first week, if I ever wanted to change something the second week, I could. But then whatever, I'll try and make sure we know what we want to do by at least the second week so we can progress it. But for right now, this on paper looks like the best choice. Let's see how we go.
I might just go by a Benz, I might just blow my advance, whoa. I did it all for the feeling, alive but I'm making a killing. I'm gonna break every ceiling, cause I need $1 million, but I don't need your money, you can pay me in respect. Cause once I do it big, what's to follow is a check. I need 100 bags, nothing more, nothing less. And the ops feel away, cause I'm next, I'm a threat. Oh yeah, really y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat.
Effort.
Careful with your life, cause you know that it's
Let's go.
it's a you know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my
Come
word
on.
for it, this a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. It's a threat.
So a good indication there, 1 to 15. I got 8 or 9, so. But again, it's all we can adjust. But the movement felt good, so I like the movement.
This beat, let's back it up. And I don't care about critics, cause they talk too much. And I know that I gotta keep on grinding, finding myself. I ain't gonna stop until I know I had enough. Mama, I made it, I know that they see me. I'm popping these bottles just like I'm a genie. I'm glad that you made me get all in my DNA. I'm about my chips like I'm working for Frito-Lay. And bet it bag on myself. I don't do this for my health. Every threat is a champion. Got the title, need a belt. I don't need your money, you can pay me in respect. Once I do it big, what's to follow is a check. I need 100 bags, nothing more, nothing less. And the ops feel away, cause I'm next, I'm a threat. Oh yeah, really,
Get it.
I don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. It's a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a you know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. I don't take my word for it, this a promise.
All right guys, so moving on to some triceps. We need to hear some cable crossover tricep extensions. I really like it because the way we set up this exercise, we can really hit that long head of the tricep. So we want the direction of the cable to travel in the same direction as the arm. So as it goes up across the body, the cable travels in the same direction. You're hitting this bit here, squeezing hard.
Gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a you know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, this a promise and a threat.
Still young spits, but you call me young boss. Eating real good, so so a man's gon' floss. Got my weight up in my view real posh. You a frisbee man, so that mean you get tossed. Bought a new crib, still yo in the back. Numbers ran up, had to spit it with the chaps. Realest in the city, in my record, a fact. But your man's only chat when he do it in the raps like squad go lost and don't really care what it cost them. You don't wanna cross them. My lifestyle awesome, couldn't decide if my gal wanted to, so I bought them. Don't run track, but I run up a check. Do it real big, gotta one up the next. Point to the sky with the one up, I'm blessed. I'm young, rich and black, so you know I'm a threat.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. Gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, this a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. Gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it.
All right, guys, so next exercise, triceps again. An overhead extension bilateral, so both arms. We can use the rope, we can use like some long D handles. I'm gonna have a feel for both and see what feels good. Gonna do 3 sets here, but only 45 to 60 seconds rest in between, so a bit of a shorter rest period. I suppose some more metabolic work, if you like. Really push some blood in there as well. So 3 sets, we'll start off around 20 reps, and then obviously our reps, we get less and less as the sets progress. We'll see what we end up with.
Left from the hood, then you can't go back. Trained in the ways of the ancient facts. Blazing the pace with the trees all stacked. Making the waves push people back. Push people back. Late to the stage they come. Papers to blaze the punk. Police on the beats we run. High rise, you're not equal chunk. I'm above, you're below us all. No love in the doja fools. Utilize my golden tool. No repentance is overdue. If you're in the block for the whip then raise up a hand or a lighter. Murderous phrases, I'm hyper. Making my way through the night just. If you're in a block or a whip just. Raise up a hand and a lighter. Murderous phrases, I'm hyper. Making my way through the night just. Left from the hood and you can't go back. Trained in the ways of the ancient fact. Blazing the pace with the trees all stacked. Making the waves push people back. People back. Hit the party, stance is yoga. Truly twisted, far from sober. Overcoaster, rum and coca. Going loca, showing no love. Drop with the party's wave. Solo dude, I don't move for brains. Got your wifey in a...
Next exercise, guys, move on to some side delts to finish. So 12 to 15 reps here on a cuffed lying side lateral raise. In my opinion, one of the best side lateral movements you can do. Don't lie flat on a bench. Have the bench up on one or the lowest incline possible, and the pulling starting position in line with sort of your knee area. It's a really natural pull up through that side lateral.
Feel like I made a pain to this crazy late. Kick it with the vampire, slang higher, roll with the witty finesse, like Super T. Dude said he's the best, well it's news to me. Super mean, ride on the rhythm, I cruise the beat. She starts off when I don't usually, but I name.
If you're in the block or the whip then raise up a hand or a lighter. Murderous phrases, I'm hyper. Making my way through the night just. If you're in the block or a whip just raise up a hand and a lighter. Murderous phrases, I'm hyper. Making my way through the night just.
Like 15, 20 on the first, and then just whatever after that. Three times, Jordy.
Yep.
It'll all get emailed through, Ruby. It gets emailed through. All right, so guys, just got wrapped up with our push session. Good session. We always get to the end of a session and we end up sort of, just recapping the session itself, especially at the start of a program, work out what movements we like, what movements we didn't like, what felt good, what felt not good. And I really go by pump at the end of the day. So if I get to the end of a session and I don't feel like the areas that we've trained are really engorged with blood, or a slight, stiffness through those, that movement. Like at the end of the shoulders there, I went to put my jumper back on and I could barely lift my arms over my head without a sensation through those delts. So my chest felt full, triceps felt engaged, delts felt really full at the end there. It's a sign of a good session. And also, I also look at the areas that we could improve on or progress through the next few weeks. So, and there were plenty of areas on all exercises where we can actually make some progress on over the next few weeks before we burn out. So if you look at a movement and you're maxing it out almost on the first week, where's the progression going to be? Yes, you can progress in other areas, but we want to try and make sure we leave as many areas open for progression as possible in the whole routine, the session. So it felt good. So we are technically 9-ish, 11-ish weeks out. I'm actually 7 weeks out of the Thailand show if it goes ahead. Hopefully it does, but I'll be aiming to be ready for that one there. And so I think, it's actually 8 weeks now until Victorians, isn't it? Yeah, so 7 weeks to Thailand, 8 weeks to Victoria, and then 10 weeks until Nationals, which would be the main show. Thailand, I'm not 100% sure on if it's going to go ahead. If it does, I'll do it. We've got our all ducks in order in terms of travel. Like I said, COVID pending, Thailand will be the first show for myself, which is a pro qualifier. Jordy is obviously looking at doing the Season A regional qualifier, which will be Victoria, and then also the national show. Jordy will be doing physique and then classic physique as well. So first time in classic physique, and that's the end goal for Jordy, to push up into that division. We're going to try and absolutely nail and take out the physique division this year and dip his feet in that classic just to get really, really comfortable with the trunks on stage. Jordy's under no illusions. We need to bring up his legs, hamstrings to really make an impact on that classic stage. But he's got them. He's got all the bits and parts there to really get to where he needs to be. At this stage in my prep, it's sort of 7 weeks out. I get a bit of post trauma, PTSD, whatever you want to call it, from previous comps being cancelled. There's no doubt, no denying that over the past few years, COVID has absolutely wreaked havoc on the bodybuilding scene in Australia, especially. it seems every time we look like competing, we just get shut down. And last preps, it was around the 6 to 7 week mark that we actually got shut down. So it's a weird feeling now where you start to sort of not feel good, but I can really feel my condition coming in. I can feel my stomach really, coming down to where it needs to be. I'm not too flat. I'm the flattest I've been so far, and probably after this week, the flattest that I will get to before we refill and drive down a bit further. So it's just a weird feeling coming these next 2 weeks for me. A little bit of emotional fatigue coming through there as well, just in terms of how we deal with that. That's just me being, open and honest with you guys. It's real and it exists. We try and the goal's always there. Every day I wake up and do the same thing towards the goal, tick all the boxes, make sure all my daily, non-negotiables are done. But, if I'm real and raw and honest, there's a bit of anxiety there as well. So, but we just deal with that. We use it best we can. We focus on what we can control, which is how hard we're willing to work each and every day. And I'm lucky that, I'm sort of born with the ability to want to work, to want to struggle and strive, and I do my best work when my back is in the corner or against the wall. So I'll come out swinging, keep on fighting. Fingers crossed, if all goes well, COVID won't stop us from competing in Thailand or in Australia, and we'll compete, do well, and move on to the next goal. So that's the plan, and a bit of an update from me. My calories are probably the lowest I'll get to for the prep as well. I'm on about 4,600 calories at the moment, and I drop daily scale weight on that one there, and that's my depletion. As weird as that may be for some people, I don't need to go much lower than the 4,500 cal mark to really start to get depleted. But at the same time, I want to get down there as soon as possible because I love the feeling of having my stomach, less food residue in my stomach, and have it really, really come in nice and tight. So I enjoy eating less. I know there'll be times where I need to eat more, but the more my stomach comes in, the better I feel in general. So I'll just keep sort of, with Dean, my coach, keep, open communication with him, let him know how I'm feeling, keep pushing condition, keep getting a little bit flatter, and then fill up into the show. Dean's, saying that we could compete in 2 weeks, 3 weeks time, and, he'd get me there. So that sort of gives me confidence knowing that's all the time that I need. I've still got 7 weeks to really, nail it. So all in all, feel good. Always want more, always driven to do more. But I'm also very aware that I am the best I've ever been. So that's just sort of, give me confidence to keep on going as well. Jordy is, like I said, is it the second or third time he's competed?
Third with IFBB.
Third time that he's competed with IFBB. I started working with Jordy probably, almost 2 months ago now. Towards the end of Jordy's rebound or off season from last year's comp that got cancelled as well. So we had a short little growth phase because Jordy held condition pretty well from that comp, and now we're right in the deep end of dieting for Jordy, where again we're pushing the flatness a little bit, but really trying to nail that condition. Obviously before we fill up into the show, so he comes in fresh, as little fatigue as possible. And fucking shredded. That's the idea. But Jordy, give us an idea of sort of how you're feeling at this phase.
I think besides feeling hungry, I'm pretty good all around. I think the change up in the training split came at a good time. I think with the 2 leg sessions we were having a week, fatigue was really starting to catch up to me. So I think between the change up of the training split, I'm kind of in a good place energy-wise and fatigue-wise again. Like you said, a little flat, but that's expected for the condition to come in. But look, in the past, I think I've definitely felt worse coming into a comp, energy and fatigue-wise. So feeling good all round, and hopefully, things come in time for both shows to, bring my best.
And what would you think? I mean, you just said then you felt worse in the past. What do you think has got you feeling better at this stage compared to last time?
I think just management all over from, obviously this is the first prep I've had with a coach. So, that stress of having to manage everything on my own, it's felt different, but in a good way, to have that taken care of, I guess. So I think my emotional stress from that is down, which is just making me feel better in general. But just the fatigue management overall has been good between, the food and training, and being able to bounce off you daily training together has really managed things well for me.
Yeah, no, I've seen a big improvement in Jordy, and even people training at the gym have sort of noticed that from when Jordy first started here during lockdown, under the athlete clause, to now even that, obviously his conditions coming in, he's getting lean, but he's bigger every day as well. So he's almost, had a really good growth phase. We're pulling his condition in now. We're not losing too much size or fullness, or if anything at all. And that comes down to the management of the prep. Obviously less stress of not having to worry about as much, having a coach to trust, which is why I have a coach also. But then again, my approach with, everyone that we work with here at One Team and at One Gym is to really manage fatigue as much as possible during the prep. So as Jordy mentioned, we were hitting legs twice a week, and no matter what, when you're hitting legs twice a week, it's going to build up a bit of fatigue and demand a bit more recovery. When calories start to come down, there's simply less recovery available. So we cut that out, back to more of a retention split now, where we're trying to maintain the size that we have. Obviously continue to drive volume, which is the main driver of hypertrophy, and obviously anti-catabolic weight training to try and keep the muscle there. But like I said, really manage fatigue, let out neat steps, calories, burn the fat, and get in incredible shape. And I think also with the environment we've created here at One Gym, we've got a fair few people competing, not just in IFBB, but across the board in all divisions. And everyone's really interested in the prep, everyone's really motivating, supportive, and it creates a nice atmosphere to come in here and have people, genuinely care and, genuinely interested in what you're doing, or, what stage you're at as well. Sometimes it can be annoying from people sort of, asking, have you started dieting yet? It's like, what, motherfucker, I've been dieting for how many weeks? The best one is, so when do you start dieting? Or it's like, we've been dieting for, anyway. But essentially it's a good environment to really, like I said, go through that prep. That's what we wanted to create here, an environment where it's really supportive for everyone. So people come in here and they aren't afraid to push themselves, to ask questions, get results and have a great time. So, obviously, I think Jordy's going to do very well. I don't sort of blow smoke up anyone's ass. I'm pretty real with most of the guys I work with as well. If Jordy wants his pro card, whether it's this comp or next comp, he knows he has to work hard for it. And one thing I see in Jordy is there's no fear to work hard and do what's required. So for me, it's just about guiding him in as best as I can, teaching him along the way why we're doing things. I'm never one just to say do this and just shut up. I try and explain why we're doing things each step of the way, so it helps Jordy understand the process, for his next few comps as well. And I hope to work with Jordy for a long time, but in the event that it's not possible for the reason, at least he understands the process of what we've gone through now as well. So all in all, we're in a good place. 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks out, we'll keep doing this. We'll keep bringing you guys videos weekly with Corey and FD Media behind the lens. As always, please give us a like, subscribe, comment. Tell us what you want to see more of down below as well. If there's anything specific in terms of exercises or education, posing, food, anything that you want to see more of, please comment down below, give us some guidance, and we'll keep feeding through the content to give you guys more of what you want, okay? Because we can just train all day, but I'd rather give you guys more of what you want to see. And hey, if it is more training, well then we'll keep on doing that. That's no problem for us as well. So thanks for tuning in. Please, like I said, like, subscribe, comment, share, show us the love. We love you guys. Thank you for your support. If you're in Port Melbourne, please come down and visit us anytime. 67 Crockford Street, Port Melbourne. We're creating something special here at OneGym. We want to share it with all you guys as well. For us, we're going to get something to eat, have some cereal, and we'll see you on the next video.